Pusnet, new little video. This one, it's a concept video. I've been kind of playing with this, and we'll talk a little bit of who inspired me and stuff. But rethinking about doing my video, my kits, and as well as my New Year's resolution of making one module a month. I was rethinking about how to do my kits, and we talk a lot about bug out bag, but in this the K stands for bug out kit, so it seems like a semantic of playing with words, but you'll see that it's not quite that much. So imagine that you have a deck of cards. So they're all the same. I mean, you have all the 52, 54, I think, cards in it. But with the same deck of cards, I mean, you can play poker. But to play poker versus playing blackjack, there are different rules. Same cards, same things, but just for example, the aces means different thing than blackjack for poker. But you can also play solitaire with it. So again, same deck of cards, but you can play different rules with it. So depending on the rules that you're going to apply on your deck of cards, despite that doesn't change, it's the rules that change your deck of cards. So please just try to keep that concept in mind. So watching videos from Canadian Prepper is great video, micro versus macro prepper and survivalist. On different, the long term and the short term, and also the survival tech nord about his modular portable system, and also attaching to this the urban prepper. When you put all this and shake it out, this is where the concept comes from. So thinking about the concept that we were talking about, the deck of cards. And this is why I call it the Lego bug out concept, because I don't have another name. But if you ever had kids, grandkids, or you just have yourself play with Lego, you know that when you buy a box of Lego, it comes with a whole bunch of things, but there's one main things you can do with it. But on the other side, like for example on this side, you can do the other kind of design that you can as well create it from those pieces. So from the Lego, we got different color and different size. So you got little ones, bigger ones, and don't worry, it'll make sense at one point. I'm just kind of trying to explain the concept slowly. So for one box, you can have different things, and so it kind of brings us back to the concept that I was introducing initially about the deck of cards. So if you most of the majority of YouTube video always talks about bug out bags, or all kind of bags, get on bags and whatever. And actually you can see here, just googling, there's 4 bags here, and all of them have different things, different size, but there's no real like the kits are different. The gear, like this one has like more there's firearms in it, so it looks like it's more urban oriented. This one doesn't look like it has. This one looks more like outdoorsy. So 3 bug out bags, so they all have the same name, bug out bag, but yet the kits inside them are quite different, and as well as different size. So instead of asking what kit fit in my bag, so trying to fit a kit in my bag, so I need to buy this super duper bag so I can fit whatever gear in here, shouldn't we be asking what bag fit my kit? And this is where that semantic, it seems like a semantic, but the question changed. So instead of buying, for example, those bug out bags, so if I would have bought bug out, let's say this bug out bag here, well, now this fits in this bug out bag, or this fits in this bug out bag, but we never ask question about the kit. So if I need to bug out, I grab the bag and this is what I have here. But are those tools exactly what I need for the job? Is it doing what we're supposed to do? So my bag is a little bit very concrete. It stays. It doesn't have a lot of malleability. It's kind of it's a bug out bag versus a kit. I could modify it according to my bag. So this is why it comes back to this question. Instead of asking what kit fit in my bag, so we go from a bag and then we fit a kit inside. Shouldn't we create a kit, and then from this kit then choose the bag that goes with it? So basically, so instead of having different bags, so I have an EDC bag, a get on bag, a bug out bag, an inch bag, whatever they call them, and you see here, depending on what they are, they have different size and they have style and everything. How about if we have different modules that adapt to the situation? So you, for example, you have a first aid kit, and your situation that comes in, depending of the situation, you'll take either a bigger first aid kit or a smaller first aid kit, and then you fit it to your bug out bag. And you'll see now I'm gonna do some scenario, and you kind of understand what I'm talking about. But I think you're starting to understand that instead of having one bug out bag, we should have a bug out kit. So that means modules, and this is why it's great, the module that urban preppers and the survival tech nerd are mentioning, because now I can adapt and take different parts of my kits according to what I need. So for example, scenario number 1, riots, and actually this was near where I live here right now. So riots after a hockey game, and I think it lasted for 4 or 5 days or something like that. Quite different than the other scenario we're going to see, but here what I need to do is move fast, be a gray man, you know, move with the crowd. I'm not going there with camouflage and you know, the big out bag which has like the shotguns and everything. Security is highly important because obviously there'll be people trying to steal or do anything and use the crowd to blend in so that they can do their nasty stuff. But law remains. I mean, I cannot just start killing people there because police is there, they're doing arrests, and so laws still remain. And there's no need for a large quantity of food because it's pretty regional. As long as if I get out of this circle out, I'm in the safe zone. So as long as I'm able to get out of that safe zone, it's I'm okay. If you compare that now to the scenario, so again, thinking about, I have one bug out bag, I need to bug out, I'm grabbing a bag. Well, in situation number 1 and situation number 2, different objectives here, and yet it's all I have is the same stuff that I have in my bag. So over here now, what's important is shelter, because obviously all the buildings are down, there's not as much safety. I need more food because the roads are down, bridge are down, so the supplies coming to us will a little bit be different. So versus the other one, as long as I was able to get out of the circle, then I would be able to. Rescue tools here because I may have to either get myself out or get other people out. Some security, but not as big as the other one, because here would be more if they, for example, if food is down and they decide to deliver some food. While waiting for that, some commotion can happen. Obviously, some people could try to take advantage of this situation to again do some bad stuff. And gray man is a little bit less important here because everybody is kind of having a disasters and stuff like that. And now scenario number 3, totally different. it's a war. So there's a war zone. There's it's starting to move in. I know that I got about like 2 days to get out of here. Now I need a lot of food because I don't know when this will be finished. I need to get as quick as I can and stuff. And then again, depending on the phase, if I have time, I can load the car. But let's say I don't have, and because we're talking about bug out bag, and then I need to be ready for exchanging with others as well. So that means there may be points. They may be arrest points, and so my gear may need to be stuff. Maybe some people will try to like police or whatever will try to grab as much as they can. So in self-defense become very important. And in this case, because the system is kind of down and collapsed, breaking the law is quite different. And so that in this case, weapons and things like that may be a little bit easier to consider it. So as you can see here in 3 different, so let's say I went with that bug out concept, the bug out bag, is that all the tools that I had in that bag should have were supposed to fill out all the necessity of those 3 different scenarios, which are quite different. But versus if you go with a bug out kit, that means that I could have, for example, taking my 60-liter hiking bag, I could have filled that with food in this scenario and leave. Instead of taking the big first aid kit, maybe take a smaller first aid kit that I have as my everyday carry, or even use more improvised first aid. Because again, you're making decisions like, okay, food is a little bit more important here than first aid, and I'll try to improvise the other stuff. Shelter will be important as well, but maybe not as important as something else, versus like an earthquake, more important, and I'll probably stay more in put. So as you can see, different situation will require different adaptation of my bag. But when we go with bug out bag, people just prepare one bag, essential stuff, and that's it. But it seems like it doesn't adjust to different rules that we'll have. A little bit like I was telling about the deck of card. The deck of card is the cards, but depending of which game you're going to play, different rules apply. Same thing here is that if you're going to apply the same deck of cards to different rules, that can happen if your card are able to play with different. Because for example, I wouldn't be able to play poker with a Uno deck card because the cards are quite different. But if I have a card that is flexible, that have a little bit the same theme, I'm able to play all 3 games as long as I adapt to all different principles.